Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. In this video, we are looking at the NBA showdown between the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Game number 3. This one is in Dallas. Mavs looking to make it a 2-1 series here. Yesterday's game was absolutely crazy with Jimmy Butler not returning. Another one where it looked like it was going to be a massive blowout with the Heat up by 26, and then Celtics cut it in the second half. But ultimately, we're not able to get the job done even without Jimmy Butler, even without a good game from Tyler Hero. Just the turnovers really cost them, and then they had a couple players leave the game, but ultimately they returned Smart and Tatum. But just a poor game from Jason Tatum and lots of turnovers kind of cost them that one. Let's go ahead and get into today's game. As always, if you enjoy the picks, I appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll go through Draftkings, touch on Prize Picks, and then go through FanDuel just like the last few videos. So today it's a bit interesting. First couple of games in the series, you've been able to get to Doncic and Curry pretty easily, and by putting one in the captain spot and one in the flex. Today it's a little bit tougher to do that. If you put in Luka as your captain and Steph Curry in the flex, you just have 45-50 left to spend for 4 spots. And looking at this price tags on DraftKings, there's nobody that looks that appealing here. You have no one below 45 that is actually looking like they're going to play good minutes today. The cheapest you can kind of feel decent about is maybe like Maxi Kleber, just because he does play big minutes if he's not in foul trouble, but he's not been doing great. Another 3-point game from him. That's the 3rd game in a row where he's just made 1 3-pointer, and that's done all he has offensively, besides getting a couple rebounds, maybe a block here and there. So it might be one where you're not able to get to both Luka and Curry, which makes it going to be a bit interesting, because that's what a lot of people have been doing, and you're going to have to look for different ways to kind of fill out your roster. So if not able to get to Curry, I definitely want to play Doncic in the captain today at home in Dallas, coming off of a monstrous game. Like today could be a game where he has a triple-double and just goes all out. He hasn't done that yet this playoffs. I don't think he's had a triple-double yet. He's gotten close a couple times, but today might be that day just because he's going to play those big minutes, and they're at home in Dallas, and they need to get this win. So if I'm not able to get the Curry in the flex, I think another one that you can start with is like Looney at 72. He's actually played really well. I've been playing him. The price tag has gone up now. He's up to 72, but he's playing those minutes. He's getting you opportunities for double-doubles here. Got a double-double last game, playing north of 30 minutes. In the first game, it was a big blowout, so he only played 28 minutes, but he was on pace to play over 30 just like last game, and so I like him from a Warriors standpoint as a guy that does give you that 40-point upside, maybe a little bit more depending on how he's playing. Another one you can go to, like Wiggins has been playing better for them. He's questionable, but he's expected to play today, even though sometimes he misses his free throws. But he gets you those points, hits some threes, gets you rebounds, couple of assists, blocks. He's good with defensive stats as well, playing good defense throughout the series, guarding Luka Doncic for last game. He was on Doncic basically the whole time he was out there. Brunson at home is a guy that I feel good about, coming off of a great game, 31 points, hit 5 of 7 threes. If you're looking for another Mavs player, I do think Brunson is one that you can feel pretty good about. And then we're getting some good price tags here. I'm not too interested in Draymond Green. I like the other Warriors better, like Wiggins. Maybe we'll get up to Clay, but I probably like Wiggins more. And then I like getting down to Jordan Poole instead of getting up to Draymond today. Like Poole kind of has started to heat up the last few games after being a bit cold at the end of the Memphis series. His back-to-back games where he shot north of 65%, hitting his threes, and making some plays, making some nice passes last game. So his price tag has come way down for some reason, whereas some of these other guys have gone up. So we'll plug in Jordan Poole here, left with about $3,800 left. I would like to get to another one right here in the 6K range, whether that be Finney Smith, just plays a bunch of minutes, but I have a little bit more confidence right now in Reggie Bullock for fantasy. Hit 6 threes last game. He played also a ton of minutes, 44. He plays good defense, and if he's hitting a shot, that's a bonus. Can get you a few rebounds as well. He is a bit scoring dependent. He's not going to get you as many rebounds, but I feel like he has similar, if not a little bit more fantasy upside than Finney Smith at this point. Finney Smith had that one monster game where he hit 8 threes, but otherwise he's kind of been a bit quiet recently. He hasn't had a decent offensive game in quite some time, and he doesn't take as many shots now as like Bullock does. Another last game he only took 6 shots. Now we only have $1,200 left, so you're going to be looking at a punt, which might not be the worst case scenario, because this could definitely be like a potential optimal. You don't have very much value here. Like nobody in the 2K range looks appealing in terms of the minutes besides Bertans can get you like 10 or 15. 3K range, you only have Dwight Powell, who's like basically unplayable. 4K range, you only have Maxey. So there's like no value. So you're probably going to be fine with just punting and going with a guy like Moody. He played like 10 minutes. Or you can go with Damian Lee, who's typically been like that 8th man for them off the bench. So just a potential build you can feel decent about. If you're not feeling great about like putting in Brunson at 84, you want to go a little bit different. You could look to like put in Otto Porter. He's like a good value piece on the Warriors, but his price tag has come up. I've been feeling decent playing him. But even by putting him in, you're just left with 42 and you're stuck with like Dwight Powell or Bertans. So it's not much flexibility here. Maybe you can try to get to, try not to pay 54 for Otto Porter. It is a little bit expensive, but then you're going to be looking at like Max, and you're still going to be stuck. So if you want to play Luka at captain, you're going to be looking at some of like the 6K options, the 7K options. Not too much that looks that appealing today. So in terms of the core plays, Luka is definitely going to be one. I like Looney's just based on the price tag and the production that he gives you, rebounds, scoring right at the basket, getting easy dunks. I feel good about Jordan Poole at his price tag, and I like Reggie Bullock at 64, but I'll probably get 2K more for Brunson at home. So this would be the core plays, and you're left with like $3,800 left. I think the optimal would be just going with a $1,000 player because there's not much difference. But if Damian Lee gets you 5 fantasy points and Bertans gets you like 6 or 7 or 10, just the price gap isn't that much, and there's just not value on the showdown. So those are the 4 picks I like for DraftKings. Let's go ahead and touch on Prize Picks. All right, on the Prize Picks board, we have 8 options to look at for the points. The ones that look appealing are definitely Steph Curry, but I would probably lean to Doncic as my main guy at home at 32.5. Expect him to be super aggressive offensively. Game 1, he struggled with his shot, and he was holding his shoulder at times, so that definitely could have contributed to him shooting poorly in Game 1. He bounced right back with a 42-point outing in Game number 2, and you're going to need Luka to step up nicely in this one as well. Clay's kind of not... He's been right around like 15 points recently, so he's had a couple of games where he's been over 18.5. One game where he hit a bunch of threes to get to 30 in a closeout game against the Grizz. But I have no interest taking the over on him. He's just a little bit too risky right now, I'd say. I like Brunson at 20.5. He plays better at home, and coming off of a big game, I think 20.5 is another solid number. Finney Smith at 10.5. Didn't mind that number, but he hasn't hit this in a while. And he's just not taking as many shots as he had. 5 straight games he's not hit this. And I think it's like all 5 of these games he's taken like 6 or less shots. Draymond, I never like taking the over on his points. You never know what type of Draymond will show up. I do like Reggie Bullock a bit at 11. Like, he's going to be taking a lot of shots. He's playing a lot of minutes. They're going to need somebody to, besides like Luka, and Brunson has hit some threes, but he's not known to be like a prolific, doesn't take a lot of volume 3-point shots. So Brunson, might not, he could get you a lot of points, but some of those could come right at the basket. He likes to drive a bit. But Bullock is going to take a lot of threes. You're going to need him to make at least like 3 of them to feel good about this 11, because he doesn't take a lot of 2s. But 11 points at home for Bullock, I think he's fine. Like, if the Mavs, they are favored in this game, if they're going to win, they're going to need somebody else to step up besides Luka, and Bullock has been that guy for at times throughout the postseason. And then Looney at only 9 points. I like that over as well. That's like 5 dunks for Looney you need. The assist board, a couple looks decent. Like, Luka hasn't really... He hit it last game, but he hasn't had like a 10 assist game in a while. So, and he should be right around this number, I'd expect, at home. But you could see Luka like have to take a lot of shots and not look to his teammates if they're not scoring much. Curry at 5. He's done a lot better rebounding this series. So, probably look to his rebound number if I had to. The assist, just don't have much interest in this board. Rebounding, like Klay Thompson got 4 rebounds last game, and now he's right at 4. He was 4.5 last, or he was at 4. I think it was at 4.5 last game. We needed 5, and he got us 4. Now it's went down half. I'm going with Klay Thompson taking the over on 4 rebounds. Like, worst case, I would say, is he gets us 4 rebounds, and it's a push. We've seen like some other guys step up offensively with Poole and Curry recently. So if Klay Thompson's not getting a lot of shots, you'd expect him to still try to crash the glass and make some sort of impact with the rebounding, and he's done a decent job rebounding throughout the postseason. He's had some big games, 8 and 7, and we don't have Wiggins' number yet because he's currently questionable, but he's expected to play. And then Finney Smith at 5, I like that better when it was like 4. Draymond at 7.5, that's okay, but Looney is probably the guy that 8.5. If he gets the minutes, which you probably do expect, then that should be an easy over. And then Bullock has got like 3 in a few games, but 4, I'd rather take Clay's at 4. Points, rebounds, assists. I like Steph Curry over 38.5. He's just doing a lot, even if he's not scoring. Like, he had another big rebounding game last time out. He still gets the opportunities for assists. He's playing big minutes. It should be a pretty close game. Hopefully, this one does stay close throughout him and get a nice competitive game. So, Steph Curry 38.5. Take the over on that. Luka 49.5. I think he's going to have a nice, big, all-around performance. Last game he did great with the scoring. The assists were there with 8. The rebounds were not there with only 5. But it was also a game where the Warriors were hitting a lot of shots, so there wasn't as many rebounding opportunities as you would have expected. But I'm taking the over 49.5 PRA for Luka. This one I feel pretty good about. And then another one you can consider is like taking the over on Jalen Brunson. He might be popular today on Prize Picks after dropping 31 last game, but at home is one that I don't mind that at all. And then I'll give you guys a 5th one because, I mean, if you wanted to, I like Looney at 19.5. It's a low number, I'd say, for a guy that is playing about 30 minutes in close games, and he does give you points, rebounding, can get you a couple of assists as well, and he takes easy shots because they're looking for him right at the basket. If there's drawing like 2-man on Steph Curry, they're going to look to get Looney an easy dunk at the basket. We saw that happen with like Jordan Poole, hit him for some nice easy dunks last game, so this is a 5-man. Hopefully, you have some better luck on these 5s than the 4-man, even though the 4's easier to hit. But at least if we get 4 out of 5, you can at least 2 extra money here if you are playing it in the, well, you can only play it in the flex in the 5 pick. And then for 3 points made, Bullock's at 2.5 now. I still think that looks fine, but I liked it a lot better when it was 2. Clay, 2.5 looks okay. I think Steph Curry, now you need 5 threes to feel decent about that. I would lean to Luka if you're not taking anything on him at home. I expect him to shoot a lot of threes and hopefully make a lot of threes. And that's about it for the Prize Picks plays. Just taking the over 11 points on Reggie Bullock, over 4 rebounds, Klay Thompson, 30.5 PRA, Steph Curry, 49.5 PRA, Luka Doncic, and 19.5 PRA for Looney. So let's go ahead and take a look at FanDuel now. Okay, so on FanDuel, MVP spot, definitely going to be starting with Luka Doncic. At home, I don't see how he isn't the highest scoring fantasy player on the slate. Curry's also might be a little bit tougher to get to. If you look to play both of them, you have 93-33. So, I mean, it's definitely doable. If you put in Looney, you have 87.50. So you're going to be looking at a couple of like these guys that are a lot cheaper. Plug in Finney Smith at 85, you have 9,000. You can look to maybe Dinwiddie, something like that. It's definitely fine if you want us to get to Curry and Doncic today on FanDuel. Or if you're looking for a little bit of a cheaper play, you can get to 2K left for Jalen Brunson. I do want to get to Looney a little bit still. Plug him in maybe in the pro spot at 10.5, and now we have almost 10K left. So this one we can plug in like Reggie Bullock here and hope that he continues to rain down threes and put in like Otto Porter at 95, a guy that comes off the bench, but he can play north of 25 minutes and does good job rebounding for them when he comes in the game and does a good job of hitting his shots. He's been pretty efficient. So if you don't feel good about putting in Finney Smith or Dinwiddie off the bench, you can definitely go up a little bit to Reggie Bullock. And on the Warriors side, like Porter has played very well for them off the bench. And in terms of the 7K options, there's just nobody that looks too appealing. On FanDuel, with only having 5 spots, it's a little bit more important to at least have somebody that can contribute in all of these spots. Whereas on DraftKings, and the pricing, just $1,000 is a lot different than 6K in terms of messing up your salary. So for the core plays for me on FanDuel, I'm thinking I'm going Luka, Brunson, Looney as a 3 to start, and then we'll see what the rest I can plug in with about 10K left. So if I'm not able to get to Curry on DraftKings, Curry and Doncic, then I might try to build a similar one on FanDuel. We're going Luka, Brunson, and Looney. Do think the Mavs will take this one at home after being up big in Game 2 and not being able to close it out. I think Luka and company will step up and play very tough start to finish in this one. Hopefully it's a close game, though. I don't want to see a big blowout starting again like we did last night and we saw in this throughout this postseason, especially in this 3rd round. But that's all I got for you guys for this video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck today, and I will see you all next time.